Hey, Roy! Is it really true that you moved back in with Grandma?
It is, but wow, I guess word must travel really fast for you to have already heard about that, huh?
I'm just wondering why you never talked to me about this before. You know that you're kind of putting Grandma in a tough spot, don't you? I mean, it's not just you moving in, you also brought your wife Harriet too, right?
I did, but I don't really see what the big deal is. I mean, we're all family, Grandma really shouldn't have a problem accommodating the two of us.
Of course we're all family, but don't you think you kind of dropped this on her suddenly?
I don't get it. What do you mean by that? She's always talking about how she wants to come and visit.
Right, but the last time you were living with her was when you were in your 20s, right? Besides, coming to visit is very different from moving in. You know that, right?
Are you talking about how I had to leave because it was becoming too much for Grandma to deal with? That was when I was younger. That was then, and this is now, okay?
But you really did do a lot to hurt Grandma, and I don't think you've ever taken accountability for that.
Except that I literally just did. I get that what I did when I was younger wasn't right of me to do.
Well, I just really hope so. I mean, she's the one who raised us ever since our parents died when we were little. But you always seem to hate living with them because they have their own house way out in the country.
And I was used to living in the city when Mom and Dad were still alive. What's your point? Was I supposed to be a happy-go-lucky teenager after our folks died and we had to move out to the middle of nowhere? We had to leave our friends and then go out there where there's all kinds of bugs and animals, and it was a lot for me.
I know, I was there too, remember? I know it was tough, but I'm just saying that you took out your frustrations with this situation on Grandma. And then, after you graduated high school, you just left the house without saying a word and didn't talk to us for years.
You're right, and that was a mistake that I made that I should have never done.
So then, why did you decide to come back now? That's what I want to know. And why bring your wife with you?
Well, because I'm older now, and I've really been thinking about living a life out in the city lately. Not to mention that it's something my wife wanted to try and do as well. I figured that Grandma was still living out here, so it was the perfect chance to move out there.
I get that, but you just showed up at her door with all your bags. You never warned her that you were coming at all.
Nah, I did ask her, and she said that it was fine if I came back to live with her. She said that it was okay, and then I went back, get it?
Well, I don't think that she understood that you were going to be moving into her home. She probably thought you were just coming to visit her.
Well, I don't really get what the big deal is. Her house is way too big for one person, and there's plenty of room for Harriet and I here.
I get that, but it's still Grandma's house. I mean, she had never even met Harriet before now. You really should have made sure that she understood you meant to live with her before you went over.
Look, you also moved out of Grandma's place, right? Last I heard, you were working in the city.
Yeah, that's right, but I'm not sure what you're getting at.
Basically, this is none of your business now, and you shouldn't be getting upset with me.
I'm just asking you to be a bit more considerate of what Grandma has done for us, and that you don't take advantage of her kindness. You can't just run around expecting everyone to change their life plans for you at the drop of a hat.
So you're telling me you think Grandma should have just kept on living out there all on her own with no one to take care of her?
I was a bit worried for her, actually, if you must know.
You know that her knees are starting to give out and she can't do all that she used to. That's why I'm here to help her out.
And what about your wife, Harriet? Her and Grandma have never even met. Even I've never met her. We didn't even know that you were married until well after the fact. But you're really all just gonna live together and get along?
Of course, Harriet isn't fussy and she's really adaptable to different situations.
Well, I hope so. But either way, I really feel like you went about this the wrong way.
No, it's a bit late to undo anything now, but it's fine. There's nothing to worry about at all.
Well, I still am worried, okay? Anyways, I just want to let you know that I'm going to be going back to her place soon, too. I want to see you and I want to meet your wife.
Oh, you don't really need to do that, you know?
Well, I want to and I will, so there. I want to make sure that you're treating Grandma well. I also want an apology from you for all that you've done. Roy, what's the matter with you? Did you really throw our grandmother out of her own house? What were you thinking? Why would you do something like that?
What are you talking about? All I did was ask her politely to move out.
Of her own home? You basically just stole her house from her. I can't believe that you would do something like that.
Look, Grandma was not taking care of that house on her own. So I suggested that she move into a retirement home instead. I don't really get what's so horrible about that.
Please tell me that that's supposed to be some kind of bad joke. You literally stole her house right from under her. You know how much she loved that house.
But she's getting so old. The house was a mess when I first got here.
Well, then why don't you just help her take care of the house since you're the one who showed up there and said you would be living there? I thought you said that you moved back there to help take care of Grandma.
Oh, right. Well, I was helping that at first, but then I realized that Grandma wasn't getting her fair share and was just getting in the way more than anything.
I don't believe it. This was always your plan from the beginning, wasn't it?
Hey, do you watch YouTube ever?
I do? But what does that have to do with anything at all?
Well, there's a big trend for videos about country living, and I just really want to tap into that viewership and go viral. I figured that if I could fix up Grandma's house and get her out of there, that it would be the perfect setting to start a new channel from.
And that's the reason why you kicked our Grandma out of her house?
I mean, that isn't the only reason. When this place is even more fixed up, I want to turn it into an Airbnb. People are always wanting to go to the country and try and experience how life is out here. But if Grandma was still hanging around, I think that she would just bum people out and make them not want to stay.
I don't even know what to say to you anymore, Roy.
Don't tell me you're jealous of my great idea. I'll bet that you're kicking yourself for not thinking of this first.
That's not it at all. I'm just sick and tired of the way that you've been treating our poor Grandma.
She was doing just fine. She had this huge place all to herself. But this house was wasted on her, and I'm actually gonna make something out of it. Besides, it's not like she's gonna be around for much longer anyway.
You made a big mistake though, Roy. You're through, do you know that?
Through? Me? No, I'm actually just getting started. I found the deed to the house while I was cleaning up the place, and now it's in my possession, which means that I own it.
I still can't believe that you would do this. She took us in after our parents died and gave us a place to sleep and 3 meals a day. How could you turn around and treat her like this? I won't let you get away with this, you know.
And just what are you or Grandma gonna do about it, huh? I'll bet that you're just upset because you know that when our parents died, they hardly had anything left to give us. And now you're just mad because I realized that that meant our only real inheritance was what our Grandma owned, and now I have it.
Do you really think that's what I'm upset about?
You're just pretending to be upset over Grandma so you can build your claim to the house. But it's already mine, and you can't have it. And Grandma can't do anything about it either.
Well, I'm not going to let Grandma live the rest of her life in some retirement home. I'll take her in and take care of her.
You do that. It'll save me the trouble of having to find something for her. But I hope you realize that you're still not getting a single cent out of this house.
I wasn't thinking about that at all, actually.
I've taken all of Grandma's stuff. It's all mine. But good luck taking care of her. I doubt you'll be able to make much off of her pension checks. Anyway, I don't have anything more to say to you. But just know that I never want to see you around here ever again.
Grandma, really sorry to keep you waiting. I just got off work now, and I'm on my way to pick you up. Oh, don't worry about that, Ren. I just arrived at the bus station now, so I haven't been waiting at all. If anything, I'm the one who should be sorry for sucking you into this mess. Grandma, please, you have nothing to apologize for at all. You didn't do anything wrong. The only person who's in the wrong here is my pig-headed brother, Roy. Honestly, I still don't get what he was thinking doing this to you, but I couldn't stand by and leave you alone after that. You really are such a sweet girl, do you know that? And even I never saw anything like this coming at all. I know, I'm so sorry this happened to you, Grandma, but we'll get your house back, I promise. Oh, don't worry about that either. There would be no point. Grandma, don't say that. You can't give up hope. You really don't want your house back? No, it really is better this way, maybe. Come on, I know that it's a bit rural, but it's not like the house was falling apart. I'm sure that it's still worth a lot of money. Or is this about Roy stealing the deed? Because I'm sure that it's still under your name and you still have every right to the property. No, it isn't that either. In fact, I'm not worried that Roy has the deed at all anyway. What do you mean by that? I mean that living out in the country is no easy task, especially when you have a big house to take care of as well. There were so many things that needed repairing when I left there, so many creeks that needed attending to. I see, but I think that Roy might already be aware of some of those problems. Don't you worry, Ren. I'm sure that before long we'll be hearing Roy sing quite a different tune.
Hey, Ren, just curious, is Grandma there?
Give me one reason why I should have to answer that question, Roy.
Well, she isn't answering any of my messages when I tried reaching out to her.
And what do you even want with her?
Well, things are kind of a mess over here, to be honest.
A mess? Kind of mess. What do you mean by that?
Well, for one, the trash collectors never pick up any of our trash. And all the neighbors have been really mean, and it's been so tough trying to buy from folks around here. I've been having to drive all the way back into town just to get some groceries.
I see. Yeah, that sounds like you're in quite the pickle.
I really didn't think that Grandma's neighbors would be so standoffish. But I guess there's not much else you can expect from backwoods hicks like these.
Are you sure that they're not all just mad at you, Roy? Maybe it might have something to do with you stealing Grandma's house from her. I'm sure that no one liked watching that happen.
But I'm actually making good use of the house. I'm gonna make money off of this. It's my birthright. Surely I'm entitled to at least this. You're just jealous of me.
I'm not jealous, but you're clearly still not over our parents' passing.
You have no idea what you're talking about at all.
Actually, you're the one who doesn't know anything. When our parents passed, the only thing they had to leave us with was their debt. That's why nobody wanted to take us in. No one but Grandma, that is.
Debt? Wait, what are you talking about? I don't know anything about debt.
I heard the whole story from Grandma, so you can choose to believe it or not.
So then, Grandma was the one that took it all on?
That's right. You were always so upset for never being left anything by our parents, but it was actually Grandma who saved us from being saddled with that debt, and who raised us as her own after our parents passed.
Ugh, fine, I get it. You can tell her that she can move back here if she wants to, I guess.
I'm afraid that it's too late for that. Grandma isn't going to move back into that house.
What do you mean?
Well, you said that you were going to put her in a home, right? Instead, I found her a lovely condo unit geared for the elderly. And I can live with her there as her caretaker.
But wait, Grandma's still healthy, right? There's no need for her to live in a place like that. And how is she supposed to take care of her garden and stuff?
Roy, who do you think kicked her out of her house and separated her from the only life she knew in the first place?
Well, sure, but I didn't realize that Grandma took on all the debt after our folks died.
I don't care. You're still not addressing the main problem, which is that you kicked our Grandma out of her house.
Well, tell her that I'm sorry and I didn't know the full story. Please, this house is seriously a mess. The water heater isn't working, there's leaking from the ceiling. I need to know what else needs fixing here.
Why don't you just go online and hire a contractor to take a look at it?
I tried calling, but no one is going to be able to come out this far for a long time. Grandma's the only one that knows this place better than I do.
Yeah, Grandma was also a pretty big deal around town as well. Everyone knew and loved her there, and you kicked her out. It's just like Grandma said.
Hold on a sec. Has that old hag been spreading rumors about me to all these hicks? Is she the one telling them to act like total jerks to me?
It's not that at all. What you don't understand about living out there is that people don't think like they do in the city. They help each other out when their neighbors are in need. That's how people live out there. You've already proven yourself to be someone who could never understand that mindset.
Wait, no, please, I really am so sorry. Tell Grandma that she can come back here and we can figure something out. I haven't gotten any real work down here. Everyone is mean, and even Harriet is saying that she wants to move away.
Well then, why don't you just move away?
Because I've already sunk all my money into this damn house! We moved here because I was positive that this would be a sure thing, but nothing has gone how I thought it would.
Well, then it sounds to me like the only person you can blame this mess on is yourself. If you really think life out in the country is so hard, you shouldn't have moved out there in the first place.
You're right, I messed up. I should never have kicked Grandma out, so please, you have to help me. I promise I'll never do anything like this ever again.
I already told you that it's too late. Grandma isn't going to be moving back there. Especially not to go and help you, the way that you had betrayed her.
But I don't have any more. Tell her that she can move in and pay me rent and that'll fix everything.
I really don't think that Grandma would ever want to live in the same space as you ever again. You had your chance to make things work with her when you showed up to live there, but you even screwed that up.
But then, could you at least tell her to send me a little money every month to help with expenses? Even just some money to move out would be great.
Stealing her house wasn't enough. Now you want her to pay you? You must seriously be crazy.
Please, Ren, I'm begging you here. We're siblings, we help each other, right? This whole mess could cost me my marriage. What will I have after that?
I already told you, you had your chance to play the family card before you kicked Grandma out, and I hope your wife does leave you. That's what you get for what you did to the woman who took you in and raised you.
I'm sorry, okay? I'm so sorry. Please, you have to forgive me.
It's too late. We never want to hear from you ever again. So just leave us alone and deal with this mess and your own life on your own. I heard that about a month after our last conversation, Roy's wife Harriet moved back in with her parents. It wasn't long before Roy also gave up on the house and cut his losses. He tried selling the house, but it was quickly revealed that he had forged his signature on the deed and that it didn't even really belong to him. The divorce followed soon after that, and I don't know where Roy went. Of course, I don't really care what happened to him anyways. I'll never be able to forgive Roy for how he betrayed Grandma. He showed his true colors in that moment and gave us no other choice but to leave him. As for Grandma and I, we moved into that condo that I mentioned, and Grandma even started a community garden on the roof because she missed it so much. She sold her house in the countryside to pay for the rent, and even though she misses her old life, she always tells me how grateful she is that I stuck by her side. Meanwhile, although my life was thrown for a bit of a loop with all of this, I never stopped pursuing my own career and was more than happy to move in with Grandma. I thought that I would be so busy taking care of her that I would have to take on less work hours, but being in the condo seems to have reinvigorated Grandma. Now she seems more healthy than ever, and it's almost as if she's taking care of me more than I am of her. Of course, I still help out wherever I can, but she's a tough old woman who insists on doing many things herself. Thank you for watching. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to see more content like this.
Hey, Hillary, are you there? How have you been? I feel like it's been forever since you and I last spoke.
Oh, wow. Hi there, Lara. Yes, it really has been some time since you and I spoke, hasn't it?
I was thinking about it the other day, and I think I realized that it's been about 5 years, actually.
Oh, yes. I suppose that would make sense. That would mean haven't seen you since the first anniversary of my brother dying.
Yeah, that's right. That's what it was. When Harry died, I guess we kind of just drifted apart after that, didn't we?
I am very sorry for letting that happen. I want you to know that I was thinking about you, and I was worried about you. But I also didn't want you to feel like you had to be with us since Harry was gone. I just didn't want to try and force you to do something that you didn't want to do. And so I guess that's why I didn't reach out.
Oh, you don't have anything to worry about there. If anything, you were doing me a favor. I just know that being around your family would have brought up too many painful memories.
And that's exactly what I was afraid of happening.
But I'm in a much, much better place mentally. I've moved houses, found a new job. I feel like a brand new person. I even find that I'm not thinking of Harry most of the time now. There was a while where he was all that I could think of.
Of course, I can't imagine what you must have been going through, but I'm glad that you're feeling better. I was thinking about how young you still are. You deserve to live all the life you have to the fullest. I suppose that means you might be thinking about even getting married again then, right?
Well, I would be lying if I said I thought I would end up a widow at the age that I am. But I also just never imagined that Harry would have gotten sick like he did. Or that it would have progressed so quickly. It really is such a shame how he went.
Well, I just want you to know that I am sure that he was thinking of you until the very end. Well, you and Fiona, of course. I know that it just crushes him knowing that he wasn't going to get to watch her grow up.
I know. It's like one day he was here and the next he wasn't. But I didn't come to talk to you about Harry, actually. I just wanted to check in on you and see how you were doing.
Well, I'm feeling fine, actually. Thank you for asking. Are you okay, Lara?
I'm doing really great, if I can be perfectly honest with you. In fact, I think I've even fallen in love. And so just like you said, I might have a second marriage in my future. I just hope that Harry is looking down and that he understands.
I am sure that he understands. He would want you to be happy more than anything.
I'm glad you think so. What about you? Are you married yet? Seeing anyone?
I still haven't married anyone. I guess you could say that I'm still enjoying my freedom too much.
Oh, I see. So then where are you living these days if you're still not married? I remember that you used to live in that building not far from your work, right?
Yeah, that is where I lived. And it's where I still live now.
Oh, wow. So you're still living in the same place and you're still not married? Doesn't that ever get just a little bit lonely?
Actually, I adopted a cat, so that really helps in giving me some company. Besides, I've always been good at being on my own, so this isn't all that different.
Well, if you say so, but if I remember correctly, you worked for some kind of financing group, right? I bet that after all this time there, you must have been making some serious money now. And since you're not married and don't have any kids, I would imagine that means that you're able to save quite a bit of it for yourself, right?
Well, I certainly won't deny any of what you're saying.
So that I'm right? You do have a lot of money? Is it really true?
I am able to live really comfortably, but I wouldn't say that I'm rich or anything.
Oh man, I knew it! Ugh, I am just so jealous that you get to live like that.
Yeah, but like you said, it's only because I'm living on my own. The savings actually aren't that much if you think about it that way.
Wow, so not only are you rich, but you're also so humble about it. But I'm just glad to find out that you're doing so well for yourself. And sorry for reaching out to you out of the blue like this. I just had the sudden urge to talk to you, though, you know?
Lara, are you there? What's going on? I just got back home now and Fiona is standing in front of my apartment door.
You mean that you just got back now? Wow, that was way later than I thought you were going to be home. And I just figured that if it had been 5 years since we last saw each other, then it had to be the same for Fiona. So I just thought you'd be happy to get to see her. Can you believe that she's already in the 6th grade? They really do grow up so fast.
No, hold on just 1 minute there. Why is Fiona here at my house? And why is she all alone? She's crying and telling me that you left her here all by herself.
Well, I'm sorry, but I've just been really busy with work, and so I was just hoping that you'd be able to take her for a little bit.
Wait a second. You want me to watch over Fiona while you're at work?
I mean, you are her aunt after all. I just thought that you'd be able to watch her for a little bit.
Well, I just wish that you would have mentioned any of this to me before. But either way, I have work that I'm busy with too, and I can't just drop everything to watch Fiona.
Oh, come on, she's an 11-year-old girl. What's the worst that could happen with her there? All you have to do is feed her a little, put her to bed on time, and she'll just take care of herself with the rest. Please, can you do this for me? You don't know how much I would really appreciate this.
Look, I think that you're missing the bigger picture here. You can't just drop your kid off like this.
And what's so bad about me doing that? You're the one who came home late and kept her outside that long. Besides, do you have any idea how hard it is to raise a child by yourself? Come on, Hillary, I thought that I could come to you about this because we're family.
I mean, I don't even know where she goes to school. Is she going to be able to go to school from me?
It's fine. Actually, I haven't even registered her at school at all. So I don't think there'll be any problems.
Wait, what do you mean? Are you telling me that you're not sending Fiona to school?
I mean, when I feel like it, I'll try and teach her some stuff every now and then, but she'll be fine. Anyways, don't you think that she's just the spitting image of her father? She looks just like him, right?
Yes, I guess that she does look just like my brother.
But anyways, I just know that you can take care of her. You live alone in that nice apartment. Surely you can spare the room and the money, right?
Why is Fiona as skinny as she is? Even for a little girl, I think she is still way too thin.
Well, that's just it. I don't have enough money to take care of her, if I can be perfectly honest with you. I really do wish that I could send her to bed on a full stomach every night, but I just can't. You have no idea how tough it is being a single mom. I always feel so terrible having to leave her at home so that I can go to work all day, but I just didn't think that I had anyone I could leave her with. So please, can't you help me out here? If not for my sake, then for Fiona's.
Okay, fine. Fiona can stay here for a little bit. But just how long were you thinking?
You mean it? Oh, thank you, thank you, thank you! I promise to pick her up from your place once work settles down a bit. But don't worry, I promise that it won't be that long, okay? Thank you again so much for doing this.
Laura, do you know when you're going to come and pick up Fiona from my house? Did you know that she's already been staying with me for a month now? Can you please answer me? You're not just trying to abandon your daughter with me, are you?
I didn't abandon anyone or anything, thank you very much. I gave her to you, like a gift, so I won't be going to pick her up. She's all yours, isn't that great?
Are you serious? Please tell me that this is some kind of joke.
Think of her as a parting gift from Harry. I mean, you didn't have any kids of your own, so it all kind of works out, right? Plus, she'll be able to take care of you when you get old, so it's really a win-win all around when you think about it.
Okay, I'm starting to get just a little bit sick of this, Laura. A child is not an object that you can trade or give to someone.
So you're saying that you don't want her? And here I thought that you had always really liked her when she was little.
That's not what I'm talking about. This is your daughter that we're talking about. How can you do this to her?
What are you going on about? Are you really telling me that Fiona is anything but a burden on me? Besides, I haven't even told the person I'm dating that I have a kid, so I can't just keep her around.
Wait a second. Are you serious? I don't believe what I'm reading.
Well, you better believe it, and you better keep your mouth shut up about it. I mean it. I don't want you blowing my chances to marry this guy.
But why wouldn't you tell this man that you have kids?
Because what if he finds out and then he leaves me? I just don't know how he would react to finding out that I have Fiona.
That's exactly why you should be telling him about the kid. I mean, what are you going to do if you do get married and he just finds out later? If this is really on your mind, then maybe we can look for someone who can take care of Fiona together.
I'm sorry, but I just can't take that risk with this one. I don't want to lose this man. He is really, really rich.
So you're telling me that you'd rather be married to a rich man than have your daughter in your life?
That's exactly what I'm telling you.
Well, don't you understand just how selfish you're being? I mean, you can't just give up on being a parent.
And why can't I? It's my life, and I should be able to live it however I want to. And if my daughter is getting in the way of my happiness, then I have every right to get rid of her.
And you dare to call yourself a mother? Do you think she doesn't realize what you've done? She's been crying herself to sleep every night because she knows that you've abandoned her. Doesn't that upset you? Doesn't that make you sad to hear?
You don't know what you're talking about. You're not married and you haven't had kids of your own. So why do you think that you can lecture me like this?
But then why did you leave your daughter with me in the first place? I mean, if you were going to leave your daughter with someone, shouldn't it have been someone with more experience with kids? Because I'm really the last person that you should be leaving a kid with.
Hey, if you can survive a month, then you'll be fine. Just hang in there.
You break 5 years of silence just to abandon your daughter with me. You just wanted to see if I was in a spot in my life where I could take your kid.
Well, I didn't really care about where you are in life so much as I just chose you to take her. But it is true that you being rich and single made the decision that much easier. And now you can finally spend all that money of yours on something worthwhile. So make sure to spoil Fiona like I wish that I could.
I see. Well, okay, fine then. I guess I have no choice but to watch Fiona. I'll take care of her, so I'll just arrange the adoption paperwork and forward it to you when I need your signature.
Wait, are you serious? You mean that you're really going to go through with this? Wow, this was way easier than I thought it would be.
But I still feel so bad for you, Fiona. And I just know that my brother would be so disappointed in you.
You think you can guilt me with your brother? He's the one who died and saddled me with Fiona in the first place. If you want to talk about responsibility, then let's start with your brother.
You are not about to put the blame for this on my brother dying. He was fighting for his life against that disease and still managed to be a better parent than you ever were.
Ugh, don't even get me started about his disease. That was just such a pain in the butt to deal with. Honestly, by the end, he was literally so useless. The only thing he did for us was dying and getting me paid through the insurance.
Well, at least I feel like I finally understand the person you are. Hello, Lara. I just wanted to let you know that the adoption papers are being processed, but I just want to make sure that you're really sure about this. I mean, you aren't going to regret this, are you?
Of course I'm not going to regret doing it. In fact, I just wish that I thought of doing this sooner. It feels so nice to finally be free of Fiona. Anyways, I have a wedding to worry about now.
I take it that you're still with that rich guy you were telling me about?
That's right. Of course I'm going to be with him. He's going to be taking me overseas for our honeymoon, and it's going to be so great. I'm never ever going to have to wait for anything anymore because we'll have all the money in the world.
Just remember that you sacrificed your daughter for that honeymoon trip.
Oh, trust me, I remember just fine. I thank the stars that I don't have her in my life and thank her for making my life 100 times better.
I'll be sure to tell her that her own mother said that she was glad she's gone. Although, you know, she doesn't cry as much anymore. She's gotten much stronger with you being gone. In fact, I'm sure that she would be happy to forget all about you. In fact, I wish that I could forget about you.
Oh wow, I'm so scared of you. How dare you talk to your sister-in-law this way? You need to learn some respect.
You're no sister of mine. You're just a horrible, horrible woman who is going to get what's coming to you.
Oh, I see. Well, don't worry, the feeling is more than mutual, and I can't wait to forget you. And it'll be easy to with my new life.
Sounds perfect then. Let's just forget all about each other then.
Sounds good to me. It's just too bad that this is only going to work out for me.
You really think that that's how things are going to go? You think that you're going to be the only winner here?
But of course I am. Just why do you think it is that I've been working so hard to make this marriage work? But have fun being a mom. I certainly don't miss it.
You say that, but things might end up just like they did with my brother. You might think you have everything figured out, but then something bad might happen to your husband and you'll be left with nothing.
What in the world are you talking about? My fiancé is strong and healthy, and he won't get sick like my last man.
You act as if you can actually say that with certainty, but you never know what can happen in life. But I guess I'm glad that you fooled yourself otherwise.
Hey, what is going on? What did you do?
What are you talking about, Lara? I thought we agreed to forget about each other.
Don't you play stupid with me. It's just like what you said, the last time that you and I were messaging each other.
Literally, what in the world are you even talking about? You're not making any sense at all.
You told me that something might happen to my fiancé as well, right? Well, my fiancé just broke up with me. He said that he couldn't marry a person like me.
Oh, so you're just messaging me to tell me that you got broken up with? And it sounds to me like your ex made a good call in realizing how awful you are.
But you had something to do with this, didn't you? Why else would he have chosen to leave me all of a sudden?
It's so much that I did something. Although, I did go to see him, if that's what you mean.
Are you serious? Did you really go and talk to him?
Yeah. Well, I just wanted to let him know about your daughter and what you'd sacrificed to be with him. And I suppose that he just decided he didn't want to be with a woman like you. And I, for one, think that's a good call.
But why would you go to meet with him? I never even told you his name. How did you figure out who he is?
You might not have told me his name, but you've been bragging about this man to just about anyone who will listen. And so, it just didn't take that long to be able to track down who this guy really is.
You managed to track him down? And you told him all about Fiona?
Of course I did. I mean, you were talking him up so much. But you were right. He is handsome, and from what I understand, very rich too. I guess I can see why you would be scared to lose someone like him. But more than anything, he was just a nice person.
What did you tell him? Tell me exactly what you told him. I have to know what he knows.
I told him everything, Lara, all of it. I even showed him messages that you had sent to me about Fiona.
What is the matter with you? Why would you go and do something like that? Is this your way of getting payback?
It has nothing to do with me and everything to do with Fiona. You hurt my niece and you disgraced my brother's memory. I wasn't just going to sit and let you get away with what you've done.
But Well, you didn't have to stalk my fiancé and go talk to him, you know. Have you gone crazy?
The only crazy one around here is you, Lara. You literally abandoned your own child. Not only that, but you completely disrespected my late brother, your late husband, I might add. And on top of all that, the only reason you were doing all of that was just to marry someone with money.
Oh, shut up. You don't know anything about my life at all. And now, thanks to you, you've completely ruined my plans. Don't you know about all the debt that I'm in? I was going to use this guy's money to pay everything off, but now I'll have to pay it all back myself.
You really are just the worst, do you know that?
Well, what are you going to do to fix all of this, huh? Are you going to pay off my debts instead?
Of course I'm not going to pay your debts. You took out the money, so you should pay it all back. That's how this works.
But that isn't fair. The only reason I had to take out so much money to begin with is because I needed money for Fiona.
Are you telling me that you used all that money for your daughter? Because I know that's not true. When I found Fiona on my doorstep, she looked like she was barely getting enough to eat. And meanwhile, she was telling me all about the expensive brand bags, clothing, and jewelry that you got out with all the time. You were never using that money for your daughter, and you've done this to yourself.
Well, then you need to lend me some money. Please, I need help. You're the only one that I can turn to now.
I am not ever going to help you with anything, Lara. You have caused enough damage to enough lives. And now that I've stood up for my niece and late brother, I respectfully ask that we go back to forgetting about each other. Either way, it's what I'll be doing.
No, please, you're not really just going to leave me like this, are you? Don't you understand what kind of trouble I'm in? Please, Hillary, you have to help me. You really are the only person that I can turn to. You're all that I have now. Hey, are you even reading these texts anymore? Hello? Answer me, Hillary.
And so, that's how my sister lost her engagement. Not only that, but given her financial situation, she was also forced back into work. After that, I stopped hearing from Lara at all. And then, about a year later after she left Fiona at my house for me to raise, Lara sent me a letter. Of course, the reason she had to send me a letter as well as why I hadn't heard back from her was because I had blocked her on everything. In her letter, Lara told me that she had become sick. She told me that she had ended up with the same one that had taken away my brother. It was one of those times the universe shows you its sixth sense of humor. She wrote about how sorry she was and how much she regretted her actions. I gave Fiona the letter to read as well, but she ripped it up without so much as a second glance. I never wrote a response. But in some ways, I'm grateful for Lara doing what she did. Although I didn't expect to have children so soon, Fiona and I grew very close after I took her in. And it was clear that Fiona wasn't getting the kind of care that she needed from her own mother. So it made me feel good to provide that kind of care. As for Fiona herself, if you couldn't tell, she wants absolutely nothing to do with her mother. But aside from that, she is growing happy and healthy, and is in an all-around beam of sunshine. Not only that, but Laura was right about her. She really is the spitting image of my brother. Thank you for watching. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to see more content like this.